Welcome to the fourth episode of 1 year. I want to try and keep these podcasts short and sweet and full of information. I've been feeling like the last few podcasts, bar last one because it was a little shorter. The first two were a little long, and they don't need to be that long. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo that I just get into, and I don't need to. And I want to keep it short, concise, sweet, and impactful for myself, for you guys, in every situation. So trying to keep them around 30 minutes or under because everyone likes short, sweet content. I want to start off, as usual, reiterating the purpose of this podcast in that I am planning on spending 2023 to better myself and focus on achieving several different goals. That is why the podcast is named 1 year. Because I want to see what I can achieve by working every single day tirelessly and seeing what the future holds in 2024 after 1 year of non-stop work. Again, I want to say that I'm not doing this podcast for views, although I appreciate the support and how everyone feels about it. I want to say, again, this is for more of a personal journal for growth and to look back in the future if I'm ever going through a hard time and realizing what I can do to get back, basically. But I do appreciate the support. The last podcast did great on YouTube, but never going to do it for views, never going to do it for anybody but myself. So it's more to hold myself accountable to continue growing in the three spaces that I want to work on: personal, business, and school. This podcast this week is going to just be one. It's just going to be one main objective. Because that objective and that purpose and that point kind of goes into every single avenue. So we're going to jump into it. Again, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, be sure to come on Sunday at 8 p.m., 8:30, around about that Eastern time on Sundays, because that's when we do this live on Twitch. If you guys want to see it, it is down in the link below. We have a few people in here. We have Eric and Adri coming and sitting here and listening to the podcast, which is great. But again, we're going to get back to it. There's only really one kind of main point that I want to get on, and it's the title of this video and the title of the stream is getting comfortable with discomfort and living outside of your comfort zone. I want to say this from personal experience, but also a situation that kind of arose in my life recently. Not directly impacting my life, but affecting people and my loved ones. Because I feel that a lot of people have a certain restriction that they give themselves, basically creating a boundary that they won't exceed, and they won't do anything outside of those restrictions. But I think those restrictions, the safety net, comfort zone, whatever you want to call it, can be really detrimental to people's mindsets. And I have found from personal experience that to be successful, you need to break out of that comfort zone. Basically just doing something uncomfortable. That it's as simple as that. Doing something uncomfortable breaks you out of your comfort zone. I find myself realizing that I won't make a step forward. I won't get anywhere without putting my absolute entire being and everything, my soul, my brain, my time, into something that doesn't scare me or it increases my heart rate, basically. Something that I don't know will work out. Something that physically makes me uncomfortable. And that's why I'm not really doing the 3 sections this time, because I think that kind of applies to business, school, and just personal growth. It doesn't fucking matter what area and region you're applying it to, because it affects everything. everything you do is affected by your comfort zone. And it matters how hard you push yourself and apply yourself to get out of that comfort zone. And it's not like a one-time thing. This is an everyday thing. Pushing yourself and doing something outside of your comfort zone every single day. Because otherwise, if you don't, you won't want to work for anything. You won't have drive. Because you only work within what you are comfortable with and what that region is. So I want to reiterate that if you don't get outside of your comfort zone and do something that you're uncomfortable with, you won't want to work. You won't have any form of drive. And guess what? It's not like if you're just doing and staying within that comfort zone that it's your comfort zone forever. No, that zone, that circle gets smaller and smaller over time. Because you realize, oh, I'm uncomfortable with that thing that I used to be comfortable with. I'm not going to do that. And over those few years and over time, that circle shrinks until you can barely do anything. And that's that I don't know if that for other people distills fear and distills kind of like anxiety, but for me that's terrifying. That's genuinely terrifying, is that if I don't expand my comfort zone and don't expand my boundary, that it doesn't stay the same. It decreases over time. Until I literally don't want to do anything. Until I literally just have nothing to work for. That's scary. That's scary. So I fight basically that constricting comfort zone by doing and trying different things. I do this by having a cold shower every day. And although if you're not in self-improvement kind of sphere, it sounds cringe and it sounds weird to do that every day, but the feeling of sitting in that cold fucking shower, especially where I live, it's -30, -20. Those pipes are fucking cold. Those pipes are cold as shit on some days. And so my water is fucking freezing. But I still do it every day. And I don't know if it's the feeling of coming out of the cold shower and I was explaining to this to my mom actually today. I explained to her why I take a cold shower. She was asking why I did it. And I realized that when you get out of a cold shower, or you basically just finish the cold shower and you step out, that feeling that you get is amazing. But it's not like anything in your environment changed. Like the temperature in my bathroom didn't change. It didn't get warmer in there. Right? But it's from me being in discomfort and then coming back to not my comfort zone, but just basic living. Just being absolutely freezing. Fucking it. I hate it. I hate every moment of it. I'm sitting there. This sucks. My fucking balls are freezing off. But as soon as I come out of the shower, and as soon as I come out of it, coming back to regular, just basic temperature feels amazing. And I think that's an overlooked part of it. I know it increases your dopamine and your endorphins and whatever, but there's a lot to be said about coming out of discomfort back to comfort. And it's not really comfort, it's just basic. I don't, it's not the feeling of wrapping a towel in a warm, nice, like sauna and a hot tea. No, it's just getting out of fucking freezing to just your regular temperature. And it makes you appreciate that temperature so much more. Another thing that I decided to do was pick up jiu-jitsu. I've never done jiu-jitsu. Basically haven't done a new sport in 4 years. And I said, fuck it. I am going to try one of the most cardiac, what's the right word? Cardio, I'm just going to say cardio intense sports, and just mentally difficult and draining sports. And I also push myself at the gym until I physically can't give more. And a lot of people say they do that. They say that they're working until failure. I genuinely give everything at the gym. I give it all at the gym until my body physically can't. And it's not me saying, oh, I'm tired. No, my muscles physically cannot lift that weight anymore. I crumbled. I literally, like, if I'm doing like a leg press or a hack squat, my body crumbled safely, obviously, but it gave up because it couldn't go a step further. Rather than, oh, I'm tired, I want to put the weight down. That's not giving everything. My body physically couldn't take it. I do this by waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, even on weekends. I do this by being sober in university, which is extremely overlooked. I have been sober for, I've had like one beer, I think, at Christmas. But I haven't been drunk and I haven't been high probably for 6 months now. Which for university students, especially close to my last year, that's a different story. I do this also by sleeping at 10 p.m. again as a university student, which is extremely unusual. I also do this by restricting my screen time to 1 hour a day, barring my work on my computer and what I'm doing there. But my phone screen time is 1 hour every single day. I do this all to be uncomfortable. It's not, I'm not sitting there going, oh, this is like, I like this. This is, I enjoy this. I know that it's making me uncomfortable and I'm just getting used to it. I'm not building discipline. I'm doing shit I don't want to do. I think especially in my generation and the generation below, maybe even more, there's a lot of people that just don't want to do anything. They don't want to do the shit that they need to get done. They don't, like, I was talking with my dad, and he was saying everyone has shit. It just depends on how hard you work your shit. I think it was so funny to hear him say that. Just like, I don't know. I think it was a good quote by him. Like, everyone has shit, but it just depends on how hard you work through your shit. Like, it's all defined by you and how you take it, basically. I'm doing that to grow and to become mentally stronger and physically stronger by doing all these little things that make me uncomfortable. I genuinely want to distill this in, like, the younger generation and the younger people that just don't get it. Like, they just don't get that sometimes shit's gonna be hard and you gotta fucking do it. Like, if what you're studying is hard, it doesn't fucking matter. Get it done. I know, like, this, like, typically wouldn't be like something that a younger person would say, but it's difficult when people have the potential to go so far, but just don't want to do the hard work. It's not even hard work, just doing any work. They just don't want to. That's disappointing. That's all it is. And the focus is just do the uncomfortable shit, do the hard shit, do it every day. It's almost like I'm begging some people. Like, I'm sitting here saying, like, I don't give a fuck what excuse you have, what reason it is. Like, that you have a safety net, or you have like whatever fucking reason, like there is no reason that you should not be working as hard as you physically can. Right? There's no real reason. Yeah. That's the main point I wanted to get over. And I think it ties into like what I said, it ties into school, it ties into business, it ties into just personal strength, like mental strength. Like just do it. Like just do it, man. Genuinely. Like do it for yourself, because otherwise in a few years you'll be so disappointed that you didn't. Like I'm begging people here. Like I'm saying this from like experience with this. There's certain people that I know and certain people I'm close with. Just fucking do it, man. Just please. Just fucking do the hard work, even if you don't want to. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, last point also ties into business, personal, and school. I'm gonna leave the doing the discomfort and doing the hard shit. Just I got my point across, I'm pretty sure. The other thing that I focused on this week, and especially during because I had my midterm on Tuesday, was controlling my fear and my anxiety. I have had terrible test anxiety, but it only developed during university. I didn't have it in high school. I wasn't scared to take tests. And I think that came from my lack of proper preparation. But regardless, there's a component of it which is not letting your fear of failure and the stress of failing taking over how I feel and taking over what I do, and instead using it almost like rocket fuel to keep me going, to push me even further. Because last year I didn't do well academically, and I've said this before, last year was rough for me, and I know for a lot of people, I've got even DMs from people that I'm close with that have heard the podcast and going, yeah, I had a fucking shit year too. I feel like over the past 2 years, everyone's kind of had a shit year at some point. They had a shit time. And it produces fear. It produces anxiety. And I had that last semester because I was scared of every test I took, every midterm that I took. I was scared to do something new. I didn't want to do anything. Like, there was not, like, I tried working so hard last semester, but I was scared to work on certain things, to like go talk to other people. Just like, there's a lot of fear that was controlling my life last semester in every part. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want to be controlled by fear and anxiety of failing, of not living up to my own expectations, of, you know, not being happy. Like I wasn't happy a lot of last semester, but it was of nobody else's fault but mine, because I wasn't making new friends. I was not going out and talking to people. I wasn't being regular. And until one point where I was like, fuck this. I want to be happy. I want to be happy, but I want to do it successfully and not, you know, I don't want to have something control me to the point that it doesn't make me happy. And that's what I felt my fear and anxiety of just everything last semester was doing. So yeah, I started talking to other people. I started like reaching out. I started, you know, saying, hey, I'm not doing awesome here. What can I do better? And honestly, one of the greatest things that happened last semester is I met a group of awesome people. And they are some of the closest people I have at university now. And it happened so quick, and I'm so happy that it happened because I haven't had a lot of friends throughout university. I had 2 years where I was online, and after first year, I didn't make a lot of friends in first year. I spent a lot of time inside studying and not wanting to go outside because I was like, I'm gonna fucking work my ass off at this school. I'm gonna get straight A's, and I did well first year, but it was to the own detriment of not making friends. And so, and then COVID happened, didn't make any friends, and then everyone's already got their friend groups because of first year, and so they just keep them into third year, fourth year. Until this time, I was like, fuck it, I want to make new friends, and I started talking to other people, and I found an awesome group of people, awesome group of seriously smart people, that also helped me because I realized that I was not doing well academically, and I was struggling with just kind of basics. Like, I used a lot of what I did during COVID, which isn't helpful now because I don't have the access to the internet whilst I'm doing exams or whatever it is. Like, it's not open book, which a lot of my exams were. Can't do that now. So I had to basically reinvent how I study, and I did that from talking to people. Like, basically, I opened up and said, hey, I'm scared of failing. What do you do? Because you're smart and you're capable and you're able to help me here. So yeah. But I also think that there's another component to it, in that I found myself a lot of time using fear and anxiety and stress as an excuse for not getting shit done. Which is bullshit, by the way. It is full fucking bullshit. Like, when people get stressed, they go, oh, I need to go for a walk. I'm stressed. I'm going to just take a break tonight. I'm going to watch this show. Whatever it is. Like, they use it as an excuse. Like, that's not going to work. Like, I didn't do my fucking assignment. I'm not going to email my prof and say, hey, I didn't get that assignment done because, I was stressed about it. Or if I was working and I was going, oh, hey, sorry, boss, wasn't able to get that done because, I was stressed about it. It's not an excuse. Unless you have clinical fucking anxiety, it is not an excuse. Everybody has anxiety. You are not different. Like, there's this whole thing in recent times with a lot of focus on mental health. Yep, I think it's very poorly defined in that stress and anxiety is an excuse to not succeed. It should be what makes you succeed. It should be what makes you stronger and more resilient. So that when shit gets harder next time, you know how to deal with it. Rather than letting your anxiety or your fear of whatever it is, failing, not succeeding, not living up to people's expectations, your parents' expectations, whatever it is, it's not an excuse to not do well. And you can't make it the reason that you're getting distracted, you're not working hard. Because I promise you, whatever stress you have now, give it 5-10 years, and there is a stress waiting for you down the road that is 50 times fucking worse. And what are you going to do then? Huh? What are you going to do when stress hits you 50 times worse down the line? I bet your ass, if you're watching a show or going for a walk or taking a break because you're stressed and scared now, oh, when that motherfucker hits you, you will crumble. You will crumble so hard. You will lie in bed. You won't want to do anything. And it will make you worse than you are now. So don't let these tiny little fears and these little problems, these little stresses take control of you. Figure out how to control them and control them now, like fucking today. It's not simple, But it's understanding this fear and this stress won't get me anywhere. You know what? I'm even going to use it to work harder. And whatever problem it is, yeah, I'll take it on the chin. I'll deal with it. It happens. Shit fucking happens. But that's not a reason that I should stop. If I fail a midterm, if I fail the midterm that I failed, if I failed the midterm I did on Tuesday, I have now reached a point that I'm not going to let that dictate what I do that same day. If I get my mark after class, I am not letting that define what I do for the rest of the day. I would have lost semester. I promise you. I would have gone, oh, I failed my fucking midterm today. I don't want to do any work. I don't want to do this. Like, I feel like everyone has that feeling. But I promise you, if I don't get the grade I want to on when I get my midterm back for that exam, I am still gonna go to the gym. I am still gonna go to jiu-jitsu. I am still gonna work and code and do work on my business, and I'll be here. I'll be streaming that day. Because I'm not gonna let that control how I go about my day. Because I'm just wasting that time. Because eventually I'll get over it. But I might as well get over it instantly. And just go, hey, I fucked up. Can't fuck up on the next one though. Because that's the point. You move past your failures and you use it to propel you to keep going. It's saying, you weren't good enough this time, but you will be the next time. And you need to make sure you are. Yeah. That's kind of all I wanted to get over today. I hope that was a quick kind of impactful thing. There's certain people I'm trying to speak to with this, and hopefully myself if I have a problem down the line, and I will definitely come back to this video. I feel like this podcast was a good one because it's a serious point. Because controlling fear and anxiety and also being comfortable with discomfort, it's just that's a force to reckon with. That is a serious force to reckon with in every avenue, business, school, personal. It does not matter. I think those are honestly my two main points through my whole improvement journey so far, from everything I've learned. And I felt it especially this week. Because this week I didn't want to do much. I didn't. But I got what I needed to get done. And this happened last week as well. And I realized I was getting a little burnt out. I was getting a little tired. So I decided that it's actually my off season now. It's my off time. I take a few days to not relax, but to recover. Which is I increase my sleeping time. And I increase my reflection time. So my meditation and my journaling time is seriously increased now. To say, hey, I learned from what I did for the past 3 weeks. I'm working my ass off. I'm going to take this weekend. I'm going to sleep a little bit more. Still, I did fucking yesterday. I did 2.5 hours jiu-jitsu and then 2 hours of rock climbing. So it's not a break. No, sir, it is not a break. And that was my rest day as well for gym. And then today, actually, I also find this when I'm gymming, the days I don't want to work hard are the days that I hit insane numbers for gymming. My legs are typically weaker than the rest of my body, and I am 185 right now. But today at the gym, I hit leg press for 500 pounds for 5 reps, and then immediately right after hit 550 for 3, which for bodybuilders is not impressive, and for people that powerlifters or whatever, it's impressive for me, and that's all that mattered, because today I didn't want to lift heavy. I said to myself, I'm not going to lift heavy because I feel like I could get injured. And then at some point I went, no, fuck that, I want to work hard today. And I fucking came out of the gym exhausted. And I felt that seriously today, because then I ended up having a conversation with somebody that really helped me inspire my podcast today. But yeah, that was the main focus. I seriously felt it today. I felt it in the past few days. I felt it after my exam, during my exam, whatever it was. Those two main points. Don't let fear and anxiety control you, and be comfortable with discomfort.